Before we begin, let's start with a really important idea: security and privacy. You've probably all heard the warnings about AI. Don't put personal data in there. And if you're using a personal account, such as your Gmail account, that's good advice. Prompts you enter using a personal account can be used to train the model, and so don't put personal data in there. However, when you log in with your school workspace account, the rules change, and you get enterprise-level, guaranteed privacy and security for your data. Look for this little shield icon. It's your visual indicator that enterprise-grade data protections are in full effect. And as you prompt the AI, you'll also see a little note at the bottom of the screen to let you know that your chats are not being used to improve the models. So just remember, if you use Gemini with your personal Gmail account, you won't see a shield icon here, and your prompts are not protected. These chats can be used to train the AI model, potentially sharing your private inputs with the world. But when you use your school-provided workspace account, your data remains all yours and only yours. It stays within your school's secure digital walled garden, and none of your personal information or student data is used to train Gemini. It's the difference between speaking in a crowded public space where anyone can overhear you and having a confidential meeting in your own locked classroom. So make sure you see the little shield before you start chatting. Now that we know it's safe, let's dive in and see what Gemini can do. Head to gemini.google.com. As well as a place to enter your prompt, you also have options to use different models, use different tools, and even add your own documents for added context. We'll unpack these further as we go along, but for now, let's start with some ideas about prompting.
So let's get started. In simple terms, using an AI tool like Gemini is easy. All you really need to do is to tell Gemini what you need. But if you simply ask Gemini to write a lesson about plants, you'll most likely get a fairly generic response that may or may not be helpful for you. We can do better than that. To get something that's more likely to be something you can actually use, you should try to structure your prompts using the PTCF model: persona, task, context, and format, which is really just a fancy way of saying who, what, and how. For persona, tell Gemini who it should act as, such as, you are a Year 8 biology teacher in Australia. Then describe what you actually want. Create an engaging and interesting lesson plan about photosynthesis. For context, tell Gemini a bit more about it, like, my students are in Year 8 and have diverse reading levels. Finally, say what format you'd like this in. Provide a bulleted list describing the lesson sequence, and include a 5-minute hook to start the lesson. Suddenly, Gemini isn't just a search engine, it's acting as a helpful colleague. So stop making Gemini guess what you need. Be really specific and you'll get much better responses.
We all have tasks we do over and over, and while Gemini can certainly help get them done, having to add all of that persona, task, context, and format structure every time can get a bit tedious. So meet Gems, a way of bundling all of that who, what, and how into a neat little reusable package. Gems are like custom versions of Gemini you can program by giving them specific, permanent instructions. On the left-hand side of Gemini, you'll see the Gems Manager. Gemini comes with a collection of built-in gems, such as a brainstorming helper, coding partner, career guide, and even a storybook creator. Try them out, but you can also build your own gems based on your specific needs. I have some examples here that I've made. An early years teacher that explains anything you ask it in simple terms, or a feedback gem based on the work of Ron Berger to provide helpful, kind, specific feedback. You can even make gems that act as specific people or things, like this one that lets students chat with the artist Marcel Duchamp, or learn about the solar system from the slightly disgruntled exoplanet Pluto. For example, rubrics are something I make quite often for my students. Instead of retyping all of my requirements and instructions every time, I built a gem that understands what I want. I've uploaded the grading standards, clearly explained what I want, and named it Rubric Maker. Now when I need a new rubric, I just provide the specifics, like Year 12 film project, include a copy of the actual task, and it returns a perfectly formatted rubric with tailored descriptors for each level. So give it a try. While you might spend a few minutes setting up the gems instructions, it's going to save you hours of manual drafting.
Conducting deep research into a new topic can be a lot of work. You usually end up with lots of open tabs and a lot of copying and pasting to bring information together from all your sources, and then the complex task of synthesizing it all into a report that makes sense. So let's try deep research. Say I'm doing a unit of work on space, and I'd really like to know more about the new Vera C. Rubin Deep Space Telescope in Chile. I'll prompt Gemini to tell me more about it. making sure I enable the deep research option from the tool selector. It will suggest a research plan, and if you're okay with it, just click Start Research. It can take several minutes to scour the web, check facts and cite sources, and then provide you with a detailed and comprehensive report. Amazing, right? Since these reports can be quite detailed, you'll find a navigation menu at the top to browse through the content or jump straight to specific chapters. If you need to refine the content further, you can share or export it to a Google Doc with one click. At the end of the report, you'll find a complete list of all the resources used to create it, and even the thinking process Gemini used to put it together. This can be super helpful for students to really see how to go about researching deeply into a topic. Finally, check out the Create button on the top right. You can use this to create additional resources based on your deep research project, turning it into a web page, an infographic, a quiz, flashcards, or even a podcast-like audio overview. Explore the options here. It's a fantastic way to easily create some really amazing resources for your students. So that's Gemini Deep Research. Give it a try with something you'd really like to know more about.
As educators, we often worry that AI tools will simply hand over the answers, bypassing the productive struggles students need to truly master a subject. We want a tool that helps them actually learn. That's where guided learning mode comes in. By using guided learning mode, Gemini transforms from an answer engine into a helpful tutor. Let's say I'm asking it to help me solve an algebraic equation, such as x equals 3x minus 10. Instead of just showing me the final answer as x equals 5, Gemini asks, to get the x terms together on one side, what do we get on the left side if we subtract 3x from both sides? It waits for my input, offers hints when I'm stuck, and explains the why behind the math. In another example, let's say a student is researching how volcanoes form. They might start by asking, why are there so many volcanoes in Indonesia? Instead of providing a dry list of facts, Gemini might respond with some geological background information, suggesting the student looks at what goes on beneath the islands before asking, what do you think happens to the magma when it builds up enough pressure under the Earth's surface? This back-and-forth dialogue encourages students to synthesize and process information in order to draw their own conclusions. If they get stuck, Gemini will gently guide them to a better understanding. It's perfect for homework support because it provides the scaffolding needed for critical thinking. This helps ensure they actually grasp the key concepts, rather than just rushing to finish the task.
Sometimes, you need more than just a chat window. You need a dedicated collaborative workbench that stays in sync with your ideas. Meet Canvas. Whenever you ask Gemini to generate something substantial, like a detailed essay, a creative poem, or a complex piece of code, enabling Canvas mode lets you collaborate and interact with Gemini's output. This gives you the best of both worlds, your ongoing conversation with Gemini on the left, and your working draft on the right. But it's not just for viewing, it's for active editing. You can highlight a specific sentence in a poem and ask Gemini to make this more descriptive, or shift the tone to be more somber. If you're working on a script, you can ask it to add a concluding paragraph, or format this as a professional report. If you're writing code, you can add features, suggest changes, or fix errors simply by conversing with Gemini to tell it what you want, and Gemini makes the changes directly in the file. Try creating simulators, games, and other interactive tools, and use Canvas as a true side-by-side collaborator, making the messy, iterative process of writing and refining text or code feel so much more intuitive. And finally, here's an extra tip. If you copy the code that Canvas mode generates, you can drop it into the embed block in Google Sites, so that your interactive tools can be easily shared with your students, or the world, simply by sharing the site with them. Building and sharing your own apps and tools has never been easier.
Finding the right images to include in your learning material can be a challenge. As well as being time-consuming, you often can't find exactly what you want, and even when you do, there can be issues with copyright. Using Gemini's latest image generation mode, often called Nano Banana, we can now create custom, high-fidelity educational visuals that look professional and fresh. I'm prompting for a detailed infographic of a plant cell with labels, with a creative twist. Use a vibrant 3D claymation art style. Within seconds, I have a unique, original high-resolution graphic. You can try any aesthetic you like, from manga style, to made of Lego, to detailed watercolor. If it's not quite right, you can even upload a quick hand-drawn sketch of your own. Gemini will use your drawing as a guide, ensuring the final image is exactly what you envisioned. But the creativity doesn't stop with static images. Gemini now includes VO3, a powerful video generation model that can bring your lessons to life with short, high-quality cinematic clips. Imagine prompting for a slow-motion close-up of a honeybee pollinating a flower, or a 360-degree fly-through of the Roman Colosseum. These clips can be embedded directly into your digital materials, providing a dynamic visual experience that static photos just can't match.
NotebookLM is a game changer for education because it operates on a source-first principle. It is a separate app, powered by Gemini, and found at notebooklm.google.com. While the standard Gemini AI chat draws from its massive global training data, NotebookLM only looks at the specific files you provide. This source grounding means no hallucinations, just accurate information pulled directly from your sources. As an example, I've uploaded an entire physics chapter here, as well as another curriculum document about physics. And you can also include lots of other file types, including Google Docs, website links, or even YouTube transcripts. If you don't already have the sources you need, NotebookLM can even help you find them with a built-in search tool, which is how I added most of these other documents and websites. Once your sources are added, you can actually chat with your notebook, asking questions of your sources to find information, ideas, and connections. You can compare ideas across multiple documents or look for specific answers. The responses always contain a citation, and you can click these citation numbers to see exactly which page and paragraph the information came from, because every generated response is linked back into your original source material. The Studio panel on the right has a collection of tools to help you interact with and better understand your sources. Instantly create reports like a briefing doc, summary overview, blog post, or study guide to help students navigate the material. You can also create flashcards, quizzes, infographics, mind maps, slide decks, and even video overviews. And this list is growing all the time. Take some time to explore these, and be sure to click the little pencil icon to fine-tune each option. Finally, be sure to take a look at the audio overviews. It's a deep dive conversation between two AI hosts who discuss the key themes of your lesson with incredible nuance.
This is the brief on light and optics. So we're going to look at the fundamental concepts of light, from its weird quantum nature.
It's an audio study guide students can listen to on the go. So that's NotebookLM. It's like providing a specialized tutor for every student, completely grounded only in your verified, trusted sources.
If you use Google Classroom, you can also access specific Gemini features right inside Classroom. These tools aren't just add-ons, they are integrated directly into your workflow to help you design more creative lessons and provide personalized support for every student. Start by opening the Gemini side panel, where you'll find a growing collection of customized AI tools for educators. You'll see they are divided into two sections. The top section with the colored icons contains pre-built modules that can help with a range of specific tasks, like creating a rubric, releveling text, creating a vocabulary list, creating an audio lesson, and much more. Whether you need a creative hook to start a unit on Shakespeare or a set of learning objectives for a chemistry lab, you can generate them instantly right here inside Google Classroom. Using these modules mostly involves answering a few simple questions to help Gemini understand what you want. After the response is generated, it can usually be exported to a Google Doc, form, sheet, or whatever is appropriate for that particular content. These modules are easy to use and can save lots of time for busy teachers. The lower section contains a collection of pre-written prompts that will invoke Gemini, so you can start directly interacting with them. These are essentially gems, and usually start the conversation by asking you questions to get a better understanding of what you need, and you can then chat with Gemini to refine the results. And because it happens live in Gemini, it's also a great way to see how prompts are structured, and a good way to learn how to create and improve your own prompts. When creating assignments, quizzes, or material in Google Classroom, there is also an option to share either a gem or a NotebookLM file with your students. This is a great way to let your students safely interact with trusted sources and customized chatbots you have pre-created for them. When the student opens these AI attachments, they can interact with them, but can't modify them. So that's a bit about Gemini in Classroom. Google Classroom has always been about saving you time and supporting your work as a teacher, and these new Gemini features continue to push that idea even further.